Lights on. It's time to start Curb Cuts.
Curb Cuts is produced by the Central Coast Assistive Technology Center, made possible by donations from Cal Poly CPTV and Slow Public Access, funded by grants from the Christopher Reeve Foundation, Go Forward, the San Luis Obispo County Community Foundation, For Good Forever, and the California Endowment, increasing access to healthcare for all Californians. Curb Cuts is also sponsored by Mag Superstore. And now, Curb Cuts.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Curb Cuts. We're coming to you today from beautiful Avila Beach, and today's topic is on adaptive recreation opportunities for people with disabilities. And we've really been looking forward to doing this episode because there are so many great opportunities for particularly outdoor recreation here on the Central Coast. And we're going to be highlighting in particular some of the programs that are available through Cal Poly for people with disabilities in our community. So we hope you enjoy some of these features. Hey, Curb Cuts is here at Morro Bay with the Cal Poly Adaptive Paddle Program, and we're going to take a little trip out on the bay and check out some of the sites and let you guys meet some of the folks that are participating in the program. So check it out.
My name's Casey. I'm a third-year kinesiology major, and we're taking Jared out kayaking. We're going to get in the water here pretty soon, and I think we're excited, right, Jared? We put some cushions in the seat so that he's more comfortable. We put a foot stop so that his feet don't, and he doesn't slide into the kayak. And we also, to the paddle, we did a bicycle tire for a handle. And so that way he can hold on, and then he can really use his left hand to paddle.
Well, my name's Kevin Taylor. I've just finished 8 years at Cal Poly, and when I first arrived in Cal Poly, found out I was going to be teaching the adapted physical activity class. I wanted to embody learn by doing, and I heard about a local paddling instructor, Jeff Clark, whose wife was a physical therapist, Monica Clark, and the two of them were wanting to run an adapted paddling clinic sponsored by the American Canoe Association. Hooked up with them, bought Jeff a cup of coffee, and said, okay, what's standing in our way? And he said, well, we don't have a pool. So I said, well, Cal Poly's got one of those. And he said, well, we need a lot of people. I said, well, I got a lot of people in my class. Let's get together and do this thing. And I'm not sure that they felt we could pull it off, but we did it. It's really important to us that we get people into paddling, inspired in paddling, and if we can, get them to stick with paddling.
It's always fun getting out on Morro Bay. It was a nice day. You try to, get back in before the wind really picks up too much, and so we caught a little windy adventure coming back. But yeah, this is just a beautiful place to paddle. We're lucky to have that here.
Well, my name is Doyle Edward Tate. It's my first time. Well, the experience and a little pleasure getting out on the water and being able to get on the water and just see the live animals and stuff. It's on the water.
Hi, I'm Doug Carroll, and I found out about the adapted kayak program through my physical therapy, sports therapy, my therapist Brian Wu. And actually I was a venture therapist for 25 years, and my love is to go back into the kayak. So I took this class to see if I could do it again, and I'll be taking, a year from now, taking a trip on the Porcupine River from the Arctic Circle Whitehorse to Alaska, a 1,200-mile trip. And this class has been a great starter for me to see what I need to do for adaptable equipment. It was just a great experience, and anyone I think that they can't do something or in a wheelchair, you know what, you need to get out here and you can do anything you put your mind to. One step at a time will get you to your destination.
I'm Travis Sittler, and I'm from Templeton, California. I heard about this program because my mom happened to find out about it, and I did a rock climbing thing with them once, but when I found out about the kayaking, I was really interested. We had to make sure we tried the right life vest, the right jacket, the right pants, the booties, and I had to have some special accommodations done to the paddle. We took some coffee sticks that you can find at Starbucks, and we put 2 layers of them on by using duct tape, and what it's for is for me to put my hands in a certain place so I know where to point the bar at, you know, for paddling, and I know what I'm doing so I don't have to paddle the wrong way. And the experience was just fine, and I could do it again, anytime.
It was great. You know, it was everything I thought it was going to be. Wind picked up a little bit, it got a little waves, it got a little wet. I had a great time, and I'll be looking forward to doing it again on my own. I won't have all the people around that I had, but I'm pretty sure I can do it on my own now.
Well, my name is Jill O'Brien, and I'm a kinesiology major at Cal Poly. I signed up for the class because it was required, but it's actually been a really good experience. It was really important to me to realize that not everyone that you work with is necessarily really unable to do things. A lot of people are just as able as I am, or better. He was way better at kayaking than I was. So, you know, anyone that takes the adapted physical activity class from Dr. Taylor, anyone that teaches at Cal Poly, I really recommend this program. It's nice because we get to know each other so fast, and you have to get to know participants so well to really know how to work with them, that it really forces you to really use your social skills and use all the things that we learn at Cal Poly to really adapt that so that they have the best possible time they can have, and everyone had a great time today.
I wanted to share a little bit of my personal experience with kayaking, particularly through the Cal Poly Adapted Paddling Program. Once I got involved with it, I really began to appreciate how great it is to be able to get out of the wheelchair and really get out on the water and enjoy the freedom of mobility that you get just paddling through the water, and the feeling of motion that you get when you're riding the current or the waves. It's really hard to describe, but it's definitely a very liberating experience, and it's unique to see the other paddlers out on the water, both students and participants with disabilities, and to realize it's kind of hard to distinguish which is the person with a disability and who isn't. I think that's a unique quality of kayaking. It's an equalizing sport, and really levels the playing field for everybody. You can enjoy it with anybody when you go out there, and you don't really have to modify the activity that much to be able to enjoy it. Beyond the adaptive paddling program, there is a project underway that is taking kayaking to a new level here locally with a high-tech solution to making kayaking accessible, and that's the SoloQuad project that has been funded by Christopher Reeve Grant, and Cal Poly kinesiology and engineering students have been working on that for a few years, and you'll get a chance to kind of see the progress that they've been making. It's a really cool project.
I'm Kevin Taylor. I'm a professor in the kinesiology department at Cal Poly and director of the adapted physical activity programs, which includes the adapted paddle program. I saw a video about a sailboat that had been outfitted for someone with high-level quadriplegia, and thought it would be a neat idea to take a kayak and add an electric motor and outfit it for someone with high-level quadriplegia. When you get high-level quadriplegia, you lose some freedom, you lose control, and the concept of putting someone in a kayak and giving them the freedom to control the craft and go where they want. Somebody told me we had a world-class engineering college here at Cal Poly, and I decided to take that out for a spin a little bit and see what we could do with it.
My name is Mike Kearns. I'm a mechanical engineering student here at Cal Poly. I worked on the stability team with 2 other mechanical engineers. We designed outriggers for the kayak to provide the stability for it. If there were small waves or the person were to lean to one side, the outriggers would correct that, and it would make it so that the kayak doesn't tip over. They're connected to each other and to the kayak by 2 aluminum poles that just slide through the hubs and connect directly to the kayak.
My name is George Katsanis, and I was a part of the seat team. We came up with a really good system that we're really happy with. It came out really lightweight. It was actually the 4th iteration of seat design, believe it or not. We came up with a really neat method, actually, a really simple method, but a really good method for attaching the seat into the kayak. So these are quick release clamps that slide onto the pole that runs axially in the kayak. To deal with the issues with the headrest, what we actually did is we integrated a aluminum honeycomb core for the back. It provided us with a really rigid back and really solid attachment points for the headrest. The kayak's extremely stable, but on the seat end of things, we still had to consider a case in which the kayak could potentially tip over, could have issues. So we couldn't have a seat belt for the rider in the kayak. So we have a series of constraints such as shoulder rests and also the headrest, which help to stabilize the individual without completely locking them into the kayak.
We have to work now on the electrical componentry and the control of the motor, which is challenging, but again, we've got some great engineering students here, and we have a colleague now in electrical engineering who's going to head up that component of the project, which is terrific because there's even more students involved, and it's great for the students to see technologies and activities based around inclusion because it helps them to think a little differently as well, and open them up to the possibility of inclusion and what can be accomplished when we all work together.
Another community recreational program that we'd like to show you today is the EyeCycle program. And the EyeCycle program is hosted by Cal Poly, and it's a tandem bicycle program where a Cal Poly student acts as the captain on the front of a tandem bicycle, and the community participant who's visually impaired is able to ride along on the back of that tandem bicycle. The trips can be taken anywhere in San Luis Obispo area, just like a normal bike ride would be, and very enjoyable for all community members who might enjoy riding on a tandem bicycle.
Hi, I'm Lauren Ethmarana. I'm the current EyeCycle coordinator for Cal Poly, a community program meant for persons with visual disabilities to be able to get outdoors and just enjoy the open air on a bicycle, in this case a tandem. I'm one of 3 programs that is run under Dr. Kevin Taylor. I'm here to train students that are enrolled in Dr. Taylor's adaptive physical activity class. The captain is the one that leads the ride, and the stoker is the person that is behind, basically helping out riding.
I'm Catherine Korn, and I'm an EyeCycle captain.
I'm Heather McManus. I'm also one of the captains for the EyeCycle program.
One of our main jobs as a captain is to steer the bike and work the gears and the brakes, but is to also tell them when a bump is coming up, or when we're going to start going up a hill, when we're going to start shifting the gears up or down, just to let them know.
I was really nervous at first, actually, to be in control, but then once I started riding around with the stokers, I got a lot more comfortable, and they're all really nice and helpful, and we're telling me, okay, you don't have to tell me every time we're coming to a stop.
It's been really fun to get to know the stokers as well as the other fellow captains, so it's been, you know, making friendships too. It's been a really good experience.
And this is one of my stokers, one of our participants. Her name is Michelle.
I've been participating in EyeCycle for 4 years now. I really enjoy doing it because I'm concerned about riding a bike by myself out here with dealing with traffic, and it's nice to have someone that has better visual acuity than me to be the captain on a bike, and I can get the enjoyment of being on a bicycle ride. We have stokers that are completely blind that use a cane and need a captain to assist them to getting to the bike, to feel the seat, where everything's at, the handlebars. And we've had stokers that have high visual acuity, like myself. I do use a cane sometimes, but I can see fairly well, and don't need a lot of cueing from a captain. If they want to ride a short distance, then they'll ride somewhere just locally in San Luis Obispo, say out there on Orchid Street by where all the vineyards and pastures are, or up near Foothill in the neighborhoods. Also, if the person wants to take a longer ride, we've gone to Grover Beach and back, and that's about a 2.5 hour ride, roughly about 28 miles round trip. We've also done rides to Los Osos and back. It's just been really pleasurable. I'm glad that this program started.
Well, like one of the other benefits, the pluses of EyeCycle, is it's pretty flexible. And all you need is the bike and, you know, the open air, and you can go wherever you want and whenever you have spare time.
I've been getting really into biking lately, so that's kind of what first brought me to it, but this is completely different. It's fun to have somebody that you can call up and say, hey, do you want to go for a ride? And have somebody else there with you.
Curb Cuts will be right back, right after these important messages.
What? Please speak up. What are you saying?
Do you have difficulty hearing on the telephone or any other problem using the phone? Use one of these specialized phones free from the state of California.
Hello?
Amazing phones which flash incoming calls and turn up the volume so you can hear. Phones with big buttons, easy to see and use. Phones that display conversation as text, allow hands-free calling, that remember numbers and more. These phones help anyone who has difficulty hearing, seeing, moving, remembering, or speaking. Thousands of people use them because these amazing phones are free to California residents who need them. So help yourself, a friend, or family member. Call 1-800-806-1191 for the California Telephone Access Program.
There's another program at Cal Poly for people with disabilities in our community called the Friday Club, which is done in conjunction with the local Special Olympics. And what we really wanted to highlight about the Friday Club was a pretty unique device that they use called the Universal Play Frame, or UPF, which has a number of different attachments for different recreational activities such as baseball, bocce ball, bowling, frisbee throwing, among others. And so we're going to show you in particular one example, the frisbee launcher that was developed, and how that's being incorporated into Friday Club activities. So check it out.
Okay, hi, my name is Cal Poly. I just graduated as a mechanical engineering student from Cal Poly, and I was one of the 3 members on the team for the frisbee launcher project for the Universal Play Frame. The reason I ended up on the project was partly from my own inspiration and partly from something that Dr. Kevin Taylor of the kinesiology department at Cal Poly. I came to my senior project advisor and told him I wanted to build a frisbee launcher. He ended up having a meeting with Dr. Kevin Taylor, and Dr. Taylor came up with this idea of, well, we want to expand the attachments for the Universal Play Frame, and that kind of sparked the idea that he'd put me on the project. One of the major issues was keeping this thing safe because there's going to be somewhat of an unpredictable user using it. We wanted to make sure nobody got hurt. So that was the main factor, which we ended up having that aluminum frame around the outside that basically fenced off the area that the arm would swing to kind of give people an idea of where the danger zone was. And then we put a plastic guard on the user's side so they would have to reach over it, and it'd basically make it impossible for them to get to the actual swinging arm. Basically the device works like a skeet launcher. There's basically a large extension spring, and you pull back that large aluminum arm. It's just a piece of sheet metal. You cock it back, and that loads the spring with about 120 pounds of force, and then that locks the arm behind a little tiny lever. And then the user has a little aluminum lever that sticks out, and when they pull that, it releases the arm. It pulls down a little spring pin and launches the disc. And the disc basically rolls along the inside of the aluminum arm and then leaves, once it gets enough speed. You can adjust the launch angle and also the twist angle, and you can adjust how far it throws by putting the disc at different parts along the aluminum arm. It was a really rewarding project and plenty of technical challenges. It made me really enjoy product design, and especially a product like this, which is, for a great cause.
Another recreational option that we have for individuals who have mobility impairments out here at Avila Beach are 2 wheelchairs. We have a power wheelchair and a manual wheelchair that are both modified wheelchairs to be used actually on the beach itself. The motorized wheelchair was funded through grants and donations from anonymous donors, the Avila Beach Community Foundation, and the Harbor District. This chair is free for checkout. Anyone who would like to come and participate in taking the chair out on Avila Beach itself can come to the Port San Luis Marine Institute, which can be reached at 595-7280, and reserve a time when you can come and check the chair out. The chair obviously does not go in the water, but you can take it down on the sand and near the water onto the firm sand and enjoy the beach and the beautiful weather out here at Avila. There's also a manual wheelchair that's available for free checkout, and that wheelchair is located at the Avila Lighthouse Suites, and that can be checked out by calling 627-1900.
Another unique wheelchair that we wanted to show you is one that I use myself called the Easy Chair, and it's a pedal operated wheelchair that I primarily use for recreation, just to get out on some of the local paths and trails to get a little exercise and do it in kind of a cycling type manner, but with the stability of the four wheels of a wheelchair. And it's got a power assist on it, so when I go up hills or if I get tired, that motor will kick in and give me a little extra turbo boost. Unfortunately, this particular wheelchair is no longer being manufactured. You'd probably have to check somewhere like eBay to see if there are any still out there, but it's a design that I would definitely like to see picked up by somebody else and maybe even improved for anybody, again, that wants to enjoy the health benefits and the physical activity that comes with doing cycling types of activities.
I wanted to bring your attention to the Paul Wolf Accessibility Advocacy Award Program that's happening July the 28th in Arroyo Grande at the Clark Center. The show time is from 4 to 6. This award program is presented to recognize and honor individual, business, and community organizations for outstanding efforts to create a more accessible San Luis Obispo County. The program will be featuring a performance by actress and comedian Jerry Jewell. With her role as Cousin Jerry on the NBC sitcom The Facts of Life, Jerry becomes the first person with a visible disability to become a regular performer on a national television show. Jerry is known for his sense of humor and regularly performs on the comedy circuit.
We also wanted to mention that the Paul Wolf Accessibility Advocacy Award is put on by a local disability group called Access for All. And you can check out more information about Access for All at their website, www.slowaccessforall.org, and you'll find a number of great resources related to disability access in our community. Access for All is a local community group of people from a variety of different backgrounds who are committed to removing barriers to access for people with disabilities and promoting access to a number of the great opportunities that we have here on the Central Coast.
We also wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that the Central Coast Assistive Technology Center continues to have a demonstration center and lending library of a wide range of assistive technology that's available free to individuals in San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara County. Please give us a call at 549-7420 and we can tell you a little bit more about this program.
We hope you enjoyed watching today's episode on adaptive recreation opportunities for people with disabilities, and want to remind you that you can check out our website, www.ccatc.org, for more information on the topics you saw in today's episode, as well as some links and information about some of the adaptive recreation opportunities that we weren't able to feature today. You can also view this and our other episodes on our website, where we have audio description for people with visual impairments. We're going to close today's episode, like we close every episode, with showing you our friend Maisha Thomas using the motorized beach wheelchair down here at Avila Beach. And to remind viewers that you can check out that beach wheelchair for free at the Port San Luis Marine Institute for anyone who has a mobility impairment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.